welcome to this edition of It's Happening in Dublin. I'm Joe Fox. Well, a lot of Dublin residents are coming here to the Dublin Community Recreation Center to test their skills at Taekwondo. Take a look. Every Monday night, the Dublin Community Recreation Center is the site for a special class where parents and their children come together in order to learn the art of Taekwondo.
So Taekwondo is a Korean martial art. It's about 2,000 years old. Our style of Taekwondo is Ji-Do-Kwan, which is one of the oldest forms, more the ancient military form. So Taekwondo, a lot of it is about teaching respect, building confidence, developing good listening skills, developing leadership, and if we pick up some self-defense skills along the way, that's a bonus. So really what I emphasize for the kids is the respect, listening, confidence, leadership, and we get exercise because we're working a lot of the big muscles of the legs.
During the class, which lasts for just over an hour, students practice a variety of kicks, punches, and other moves. Students range in age from elementary school age children all the way up to adults.
It's pretty much for anyone above 5 and older participating with their parents or older siblings. Teaches the basics of Taekwondo all the way up through black belt. We took the class primarily because of that. With our hectic lifestyles and stuff, it makes it easier to be able to interact with our own kids. So this way I'm not off doing Taekwondo somewhere for 2 hours at a time, and I can have the boys there. They can learn the same, the disciplines and the skills. Gives us the opportunity to practice together. So it's actually, I think it's more enjoyable.
My daughter was doing it before I was, and so, watching her do it, and just from that, and watching her take her tests and stuff, made me decide I'd try it. It's fun. It's it's challenging. The kids make it look a lot easier than it is.
Well, we learned about Taekwondo, which is like the art of kicking and punching. So we learn different punches and different kicks, and we learn discipline.
It's really fun because everyone's really nice to you and help you out a lot, so you're not all alone.
It's great fun for the parents and the kids. There are several students where the kids will have started Taekwondo, and then after they've obtained an additional belt or two, then the parents say, hey, that's pretty cool, and they join. So it's kind of fun to see that the child, who might be 8 years old, outranks the parent in class. It's a lot of fun. The kids have fun together. It's a great dynamic for the kids themselves. I've spent a lot of quality time with my daughter that I wouldn't otherwise.
The Dublin Community Recreation Center has a wide variety of classes for members of the whole family, including family Taekwondo. So if you are interested in signing up, head on over to the rec and get in on the action.
Well, about 15 years ago, I started taking Taekwondo at another studio, and it was 10, 15 miles away. By the time you go down there and come back, you've wasted half the night. But with having the community rec center here, the ability to get here 5 or 10 minutes away, you have the class for an hour and a half and you're back home. You've only lost 2 hours of your evening, and it just makes it really convenient.
And now here's the latest Dublin, Ohio places to go. The people of Dublin have been getting their fill of delicious Italian food as of late, thanks to the opening of not one, but 2 restaurants in the city. Piada Italian Street Food serves up authentic Italian treats in a fast, casual manner, and residents couldn't be happier.
The thing about Piada, I guess, versus other fast food restaurants or casual restaurants is that everything is fresh. Everything's made in-house, from our sauces to our soups, and that's our motto. I mean, we want cook less more often.
We've got higher quality products. I think we have fresher products than you're going to get on a day-to-day, and it can certainly lead you to have a healthier lifestyle.
Piada's menu features a variety of items, including salad, pasta, and of course the piada itself. Its chefs use only the finest ingredients, and each and every item is made right up front for all to see.
We serve piadas and pasta bowls and chopped salads. We're focusing on that piada, which is a fresh flatbread, Italian thin style dough. similar to a pizza, but very thin. We serve chicken, steak, sausage, salmon, calamari. Higher end ingredients that are all grilled to order, with fresh vegetables and soups and Italian sodas, and offering those high end Italian ingredients.
Last time I was here, I had pasta, and it was very good. And this time, actually, I had a salad, which is also very good. And it's a lot of food, and I'm going to get to take some home.
It's very tasty. There's all kinds of sauces to bring out the flavor of the pasta. And you can pick and choose whichever one you want.
Piada has 2 locations in Dublin, one off Perimeter Drive and the other on Sawmill Road. Both restaurants open daily at 10:45. Those who work at Piada hope that guests will stop into one of its locations within the city to enjoy fresh, authentic Italian food in a warm and inviting atmosphere.
I got to tell you, just from the array of the fresh ingredients that we have, there's something to be enjoyed by everyone. I mean, for all our guests that come in, from the families to the single diners to the businessman, I mean, we have something for everybody. And it's fresh, natural, and value-wise, you can't beat it.
For more information on Piada, log on to mypiada.com. Right now, It's Happening in Dublin would like to introduce you to 2 longtime Dublin residents who were just named the 2012 Emerald Celebration honorees. Here's Herb and Leona Jones. Herb and Leona Jones are a couple who have both lived in the Dublin area for most of their lives and met for the first time while running errands in the city.
I used to bring my dry cleaning down to Dublin. They had a little dry cleaner shop up here. And that's where I first met Herb Jones. He was sitting on top of the pinball machine. I didn't really pay a lot of attention to him. Evidently, he might have me.
The Joneses have been actively involved in the Dublin community since the late 50s, when both Herb and Leona were part of the volunteer fire department. Leona's community service continued when she helped to found the Dublin Historical Society.
Well, back in the 50s, and late 40s and 50s and so on, there really wasn't a lot of social areas to go to. So basically you had 2, and that was the church and the fire department. But that's how I guess I got involved in the community. It was through my time on the volunteer fire department, which I started on it in 1957, and I was there for 31 years. But I don't know. It grew on me. Dublin did.
Well, the Historical Society was formed in 1974, I believe, and I became involved right away with it. Herb didn't really become involved right away, but once he jumped in feet first and has been involved ever since.
Through their involvement with the Dublin Historical Society, the Joneses have played a large part in preserving city history and have been involved in both the reforming of the Dublin Cornet Band and the organizing of Heritage Day during the city's bicentennial. But to many, their greatest contribution to the city is the work they do to educate the youth of Dublin by taking them each and every year on historic walking tours.
Most of the children are so great. They really enjoy it. The teachers have told us this is their favorite thing to do, their favorite field trip, because usually they got a walking tour of Dublin. Then they would come out to the house and we'd give them a tour of the house. Then they'd go to the park and have a picnic lunch and made a whole day of it, and they really enjoyed it.
In addition to their work with the Historical Society, during their 50-plus years in Dublin, Herb and Leona have worked with the Dublin Convention and Visitors Bureau, the Dublin Foundation, and a variety of other organizations within the city. Herb served on Dublin's first Charter Commission, was once the Grand Marshal of the city's Independence Day celebration, and was even named the Grand Leprechaun one year for St. Patrick's Day. In 2010, the Joneses received the President of the United States Call to Service Award for accumulating more than 4,000 volunteer hours over the years, and just recently, the couple was named the 2012 honorees of the Dublin Foundation's Emerald Celebration. It is because of couples like Herb and Leona Jones that Dublin, Ohio is the place that it is today. And if you ask them, they wouldn't trade their days in Dublin for anything else in the world.
I don't know. I don't know of any other place in Ohio that, unless it was out in the middle of a field in 50 acres, away from everybody, that I would want to move to. Really.
And I've lived within 5 miles of here my entire life. I grew up in the area. My entire family was from here. I can't imagine living anyplace else. Now, we like to travel, but we want to come back home. This is always going to be home.
Well, as you can see, we're hosting the show today from the Abbey Theater at the Dublin Community Recreation Center, where the 2012 State of the City address will be held. Recently, I spoke with Sue Burness from the Community Relations Department to get a little bit more information about the event. I'm joined now with Sue Burness, Public Affairs Officer for the City of Dublin. Thanks for coming on the show today, Sue.
Oh, thank you, Joe.
And we're going to be talking about the State of the City address. And for people out there that might not know what the State of the City is, what is it?
The State of the City is kind of like the State of the Union, but it's all about Dublin. And we will have a program that will address the highlights and the achievements of 2011 and also preview what's to come in 2012.
Now, what are some of those things that they're going to highlight during the State of the City?
Well, our theme this year is a healthy city in motion. And we're doing things a little bit differently this year. We are really taking that theme and also we're really leveraging our Healthy Dublin initiative that was launched in 2011. And we are highlighting our city from a healthy perspective, not just health as in fitness, which we are really promoting throughout Dublin, but the healthy city from financial infrastructure, all the programs and the services that we provide residents. So it'll be really an overview of the health of our city, which is very strong, but we want to showcase that at the State of the City. We also are having a wellness premiere. So this is a little different than what we've done in years past. This is going to be fun, informational and educational, and we really encourage people, if you have not come to a State of the City before, this is the year to do it. We will have cooking demonstrations and fitness exhibits. It'll be very experiential. We hope to inspire people to learn something new or take something home that they didn't know about that can improve their health or some way that they can become more involved in their community.
And now, what time will all those events start? And what time do you encourage people to come out and kind of get the full experience of the night?
Good question. The wellness premiere is really an open house, and that'll be in the community hall at the Recreation Center. The doors open at 4:30. We encourage people to come as they are. This is not a formal event. Even if you're here at the Rec Center working out, come in and join us and be part of it. So that'll be going on from 4:30 to probably about 6:45. And then the formal program will be at the Abbey Theater at 7 o'clock.
All right, perfect. Well, we encourage all Dublin residents to come out, especially if you've never been before.
Absolutely.
Come out to this year's. This is the one to come to. The event will be on March 15th, and for more information on the event, you can go to our website, www.dublinohiousa.gov. And Sue, thanks again for coming on the show today and giving us some information.
Thank you, Joe. Yes, thank you.
And now here's a message from City Manager Marcia Grigsby.
Good customer service has been a long-time goal of Dublin City Council and the administration. We recognize that our focus and our reason for being is to provide quality city services as well as good customer services for those individuals who need assistance. Our job is to make sure that we provide the quality information that they need in order to go about their daily lives. One of the things City Council has always strived to do is to recognize the importance of the interaction with our community and our residents. And we've continued to focus on what we can do to provide better customer service. One of the things that we do on a regular basis is to do community satisfaction surveys, and we've been doing those for many, many years. And recently in 2010, we received a rating of 98% as far as satisfaction from our residents on the quality of services that they receive from our employees. In order to always continually improve, we recognize that we need to continue to focus on customer service and make sure we're aware of the importance of customer service. In 2011, we've started a program or a discussion where we focus on talking about what we do right, what we can do better, and what we need to make sure that we're continuing to look at the needs of our residents and those who call in and want assistance from us. Our front desk staff has been involved in those discussions currently, and we plan to expand that throughout the city. And it's been a very good process, and the employees have been very active and involved in the process, and we're hoping to come out with some standards that will be followed by all employees. Again, we recognize that customer service is something that gets talked about a lot anymore, and in a lot of cases it's bad customer service experiences, and our job is to make sure that we provide you with a good customer service. We want to provide opportunities and information to you that makes your life better, and we recognize we have many opportunities every day to help people live a better life in the city of Dublin.
Oftentimes on It's Happening in Dublin, we bring you a story about a Dublin resident who is doing their part to help the community. And now here's a story about a Sells Middle School teacher who is doing just that. Kevin Levine is a teacher within the Dublin City School District that is doing his part to make a difference in the world. This year, Kevin partnered with the Mid-Ohio Food Bank to create Food Force, a virtual food drive that is helping area families get the meals they need to survive.
Essentially, all they need to do is go to this web address, and it's a Mid-Ohio Food Bank website, and what they have down below, there's some background information, and then down below there are links for school systems, including Dublin City Schools. So if your student goes to Dublin City Schools, or you're a parent in Dublin City Schools, you can click on the Dublin City Schools link, and then there's a very simple way to donate money to this food drive. And for every dollar that's donated, they can purchase almost $8 in groceries. So that's all it really takes.
Through Kevin's Food Force site, students, parents, and anyone else in the community for that matter can donate money that will later be used to purchase food items for families in need. Levine's goal is to get 2,000 people to donate just $12, a figure he says can really make a difference.
And the reason I picked the food drive was because through all my charity work, there's always this big push to collect food during one period of time of the year. There's the big food drive around Thanksgiving that kind of goes through the holiday season. Well, people who are having hunger issues have them all year round. It's not just a holiday time where they don't have enough food. So I thought, why not try to combine what I do, which is teaching a bunch of kids, help hopefully instill in them the pride that they can make a significant impact on their community, but also try to raise money for the Mid-Ohio Food Bank all year long. Essentially what I told the kids is that I talked a little bit about community service and helping and making an impact, and then I made it very relatable to them in that if they went to, say, Chipotle and bought a burrito, a chips and guacamole, and a pop, there's $12 right there. And $12 for some kids is still a lot of money. $12 for some others is not so much. And I'm trying to get the kids involved by donating just $12. I've had a few kids. And then what I ask them to do is convince their friends to do it, because I can't do this all by myself. So I'm hoping this kind of catches, for lack of a better term, like a virus, and spreads through positive peer pressure.
As a teacher in the Dublin City School District, Kevin Levine has enlisted his students to aid him in his quest to end hunger in Central Ohio. He sees Food Force as not just an online tool, but also as a way to teach his kids the importance of helping others. If you would like to help Kevin and his students raise money to help feed those in need in Central Ohio, log on to the Food Force site and do your part for a great cause. Recently, the city held a neighborhood and business safety forum hosted by Chief of Police Heinz von Eckartsburg. Here are some important moments from that event.
I want to go through the reasons we wanted to hold this meeting first. We've been following a little bit of this kind of spike in violent crime that's been going on for the last month and a half or so before it made its way to Dublin. And we took note of it, and we did some things to take some precautions on our own. But when it hit Dublin with our first robbery at the McDonald's a a few weeks ago, we realized that this was a problem that could potentially hit Dublin and become an issue here too. With the McDonald's robbery, we were fortunate to get some breaks early, and we made an arrest in 5 hours that day, and that gentleman's already been indicted and he's incarcerated right now. So fortunately that robbery's been solved, and we don't think it's related to any of these other robberies. When we had our second robbery at Max and Irma's, we realized that we needed to step up some of our proactive initiatives and do something more. And there's some things we can talk about, and there's some things we can't talk about, but I can assure you that one of the big things we did was increase our staffing in the evening hours greatly to try to prevent these types of things. This isn't really, to us, a crime issue. This is a commitment issue on our part. I mean, this is not something we see every day in Dublin. 4 armed robberies in a month and a homicide. So I can tell you right now, this is absolutely our first commitment and our absolute #1 priority. And we're not going to rest until we find out what happened and we make some apprehensions in these crimes. You know, obviously, one of the things you think about all the time when you want to be safe and prevent armed robberies is, you know, the opening and closing periods at your business, because those are vulnerable times. Really, the best thing you guys can do is to just harden your target, is kind of the term we like to say. I mean, these guys are looking for a soft target, and they're probably going to watch you ahead of time to determine whether or not you're a soft target. So just being aware and doing some of the things you can do to stay safe is going to discourage them. And some of the things we suggest, you know, are if you have an alarm, make sure you got signs prominently displayed that talk about that. And if you have video surveillance, have signs prominently displayed that say you have video surveillance. I wouldn't hide my cameras if I was a business owner. I'd make sure they were right out there where you could see them. I'm okay with that, so people know they're there. They should be a deterrent. As far as closing and opening, we really recommend that you don't have people close by themselves. We strongly recommend that when you're closing, you're keeping the doors locked. A lot of times we'll find business owners at night, when they're closed, they'll have that back door propped open, so it's easy to get out, dump the trash, get back in, you know what I mean? It's convenient. It's dangerous. And we've had businesses robbed who've had that back door propped in the past. And, you know, years ago, I can remember several times that's happened. If you are confronted, I mean, everybody's fear is if you are confronted. I can tell you what the best bet is for you statistically to make sure you're safe is to comply. Don't look at the person straight in the eye. If they tell you to get the money, get the money. You know, we do recommend that if your business has a safe that is not accessible by the person working, you have signs plastered all over the place that say that. If not, like I said, the money is not worth it. So if they want whatever they want, make sure you give it to them. Having said that, obviously we certainly recognize that if you know, your own conscience is your guide in terms of what you have to do for safety. So I'm always going to say that, you know, go with your gut also. But that's our general recommendation, is if you are confronted with someone carrying a gun, obviously.
Well, that's going to do it for this edition of It's Happening in Dublin. As always, we appreciate you watching, and remember, you can go to our website at dublinohiousa.gov and view this episode of It's Happening in Dublin, as well as all other DTV content. And also remember, for the latest news and information on the City of Dublin, please go to our website and click on eNews Dublin. We'll see you next time.